Hi, and thanks for joining me for this sourcing webinar. We're going to look at one specific job requirement and analyze it. We will analyze the technical vocabulary, we will analyze the role itself, and then dive deeper to how to actually find the specific IT professional. So let's dive right in. So here it is, system analyst, the system analyst position. And it's quite interesting, right? We've been organizing these webinars since last May, so 11 months or so, every week, every Thursday. It used to be Wednesday, I think, but anyway, so once a week. And there is always some new positions. Sometimes there are overlaps, but there are some specifics. For example, we had a front-end React developer with some experience with visualization on the website. So sometimes there are some specifics, but otherwise it's quite interesting. There are so many roles in IT. We had DevOps engineers, full stack engineer, Java developers. We've analyzed product managers, product owners. So now system analyst. So just looking at this mind map, and this is, by the way, one of those that I used to demonstrate some principles, and I was drawing over this mind map. So sorry about these circles and underlines. But anyway, what we can see is the set of roles: software engineers, front-end, back-end engineers. There are a lot of these openings, but IT teams also need analysts. So we can see them right here on the bottom: business analysts, system analysts, data warehouse analysts, or data analysts. And then on the left-hand side of these mind maps, you can see, for example, administrators or support specialists, architects, cloud specialists, designers. So different roles within IT, right? However, they have something in common. If you zoom out a bit, you see that software engineers write code. Analysts usually analyze. And then the question is, what do they actually analyze? They analyze something. They analyze the requirements, they analyze the data, they analyze the systems, they analyze security. So different analysts could specialize in a specific area. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about today. So what kind of an analyst does our client need? So let me go back to the opening. System analyst, PV 109. This is in Prague, in the Czech Republic, on site. The hook is, would you like to work on an innovative product that uses AR, VR, HoloLens application for Industry 4.0? So they're looking for a system analyst with software development background who can help the engineering team understand business requirements from the product owner. In other words, usually developers cannot really understand the business stakeholders, especially not the junior developers. So there needs to be someone in the middle, some intermediary. So by the business stakeholders, I mean people in the marketing department, or oopsie, I'll turn off these notifications. So people in the marketing department or sales department, or just top level executives, managers. In smaller company, it could be the owner. So there are some of these stakeholders, and then there are developers. And usually even those business stakeholders cannot really articulate technically what do they want, what do they need developers to implement. So they need some intermediaries. And the system analyst is exactly the proxy between the product owner in this case. So the company has a product owner on the team, someone who interacts with customers, with their clients, someone who knows what needs to be developed, what do their clients actually want in the product. And then he needs some intermediary to translate these requirements to their development team. So that's why the system analyst should have some software development background, because otherwise the system analyst would struggle interacting with those developers. And someone who can also understand the business requirements, someone who has experience working with marketing, sales, with other business stakeholders. So yeah, the responsibilities will be to communicate with the product owner regarding new features, analyze those features, and then discuss with software engineers. So very straightforward. Communicate with engineers to see what can be developed, and then prepare detailed solutions so that engineers, those developers, know what to do during the next sprint. So the system analyst should be technical, otherwise he or she wouldn't be able to prepare detailed solutions. And the system analyst, should also be able to analyze those requirements. So someone relatively technical and analytical at the same time. So the must-have competencies, must-have skills would include analytical skills, someone who can understand requirements, someone who can think it through, someone who is able to look at the problem from different angles, someone who can also communicate well, because this is all about discussions with the product owner via Slack or through Confluence or through in-person meetings. Not clients necessarily, because the product owner would be interacting with clients, with customers, but this system analyst needs to be able to communicate with the product owner. And experience with software development in the past. So with this, we can immediately imagine what would be the ideal career path of the candidate. Someone who worked as a developer, software engineer, backend, front-end developer, mobile application developer, or even a data engineer, someone who worked in a development team as an individual contributor, and then got sick and tired of developing and shifted to something else, such as analytics. So the person could have analyzed data or systems or software or even security probably. So that's why these 5 or 6, actually, in this case, 6 self-assessment questions include. The first one: have you already worked as a system analyst before, or would you like to transition to this role? Ideally, we would get someone who worked as a system analyst. So not just someone who is about to transition, but someone who has already been in this role, because this is a small company and they don't have any system analyst team. So they need someone who has been there, done that, and can just join a team and knows already what to do and how. Do you have more than 2 to 3 years of experience with software development in the past? It could have been 5, 7, 10 years ago, but at least some experience with software development. What's the largest software product you've worked on and analyzed its requirements? So this is a good question, because it will help us understand what kind of products has the analyst worked on. Has he also analyzed the requirements? If yes, great. Have you created any diagrams while analyzing business requirements? Which ones? And we can also, during this webinar, look at a few different diagrams that we can assume these candidates should know. Have you used any tools while analyzing requirements? So one thing is the diagram, and the other thing is a tool that the person has used. So based on these diagrams and tools, we can find on LinkedIn people who have experience with system analysis. Do you live in Prague, or can you move there? Sometimes you can see, or can you relocate there? But in this case, it is move, because they are not really open to relocating someone from the other side of the world, from Brazil or from I don't know, from Estonia or from Russia or from India. It's just an on-site role. So if someone who lives within the Czech Republic, someone who is local but does not necessarily live in Prague, in the capital city, but would like to move from another city close by to Prague, that would be a great fit. So that's why the sourcing location is only Prague, the Czech Republic, on-site with a team would be the work. And the sourcing keywords, I included several ones. So the thing is that we are looking for someone who will become a system analyst. But today, the ideal candidate may work in different roles with different titles. For example, a consultant. It's a very generic title, but someone who is a consultant today and worked as a developer in the past could become a system analyst. It is just the same role wrapped in a different package. Or also consultant, this is in local Czech language. So if you guys source for this position, if you have access to our portal and you would like to submit some candidates, you may want to consider this specific keyword, consultant. It is in local Czech language. Or analytic IT, this is also a local Czech language. And I encourage you always to look at synonyms in the local country where you source candidates from. For example, if we were to source candidates from Bulgaria, then we would look at Google Translate, we would open it up and we would just translate the word consultant, consultant to the local one, or analyst to the local equivalent, because people may use it even more than the English term, right? Senior IT analyst, that could potentially be a good fit as well. But remember, it needs to be someone who has some development experience from before. So not just any analyst, not just someone who worked with, I don't know, SAP before, analyzed some SAP products. That would not really be a good fit. IT business systems analyst, business/system analyst, even potentially support technician, but that's already a stretch. It really depends on what has the support technician been working on in the past. Freelance IT consultant, a senior IT and business analyst. In this case, actually, I found a person who had just BUS analyst, like business. I assume that's the abbreviation in this case, or shorter form. Or this is also in Czech, systemový analytik. It means system analyst. What is also important is to keep these skills, competencies, and tools in Czech, because as I mentioned, we may have a consultant, a very broad term, or senior IT analyst who focuses on security, for example. So those would not be that ideal candidates. But those who, for example, have experience with software development and data flow diagrams, also abbreviated as DFD, or people who have experience with decision tables or entity relationship models, like this is the domain within the software development. This is what software development analysts use. That would be awesome if you, use this as sourcing keywords. Or data dictionary, UML, BPMN. So these are all keywords that could help us identify the right candidates. And you can just use these, as you can find them on the job board. If you guys have access to this job board and would like to submit some candidates. If you don't have access just yet, you can always just go to recruitinstantly.com/vendors. And you can join the crew, of course, yeah. So just fill in the form, fill in the application form, just click here, and then one of my colleagues will get in touch with you. I also posted the link now in chat, so you can check it out. And what would be the ideal career path? As I mentioned, someone who was a developer, worked as a backend or front end or full stack mobile desktop developer, and then shifted to system analytics. Someone who worked as a test analyst, for example, QA, at first manual tester, then test automation engineer, and then shifted to system analysis. Someone who was a consultant, junior, then senior consultant, and then becomes an analyst. So these are different career paths. We will look at several profiles in a jiffy, and I just wanted to show you these tools and titles that we will be looking for. Have you guys any experience sourcing system analysts? And if you guys here, and I see that more of you have joined. Chris joined, Olivier, cool, Honk, wonderful. So do you guys have any experience? Have you sourced system analysts anytime recently? This is the this is the opening, and by the way, the link I need to share again because it only went to hosts and panelists. So that's the Recruit Instantly vendors. Okay, no, Olivier, Juliana, no. Okay, no worries. So as you can see, it's not really any rocket science if you break it down to the ideal career path, the tools, and the titles these people have on their LinkedIn profiles and resumes. And now the client really needs the system analyst to start quickly because they actually have one product owner who is about to leave, and they assume the new product owner will not be able to interact effectively with developers. So that's why they want to bring on board someone who has software development experience and can interact with developers effectively. So that's why we need to look for people who have this kind of software development experience. And we will just go through a few profiles on LinkedIn, as always, right? So I'll go through a few profiles. We will limit it to the Czech Republic. I'll clear these current job titles, Canada, D3JS. That was some testing, years of experience, and we will start with blank sheet. So locations, that will be actually Prague only, not even Czech Republic. Let's start with Prague. At first, I like to start with just to get an idea how many people are there with the title system analyst. Current or past, let's keep both. Just roughly, like what is the scope in Prague? There are 600 people with this broad term, current or past experience. So not that many. That's the good news. There are not that many. And obviously not everyone has the title system analyst. We just saw it in these current titles. So we need to consider freelance consultants. We need to consider business, IT business systems analyst, senior IT analyst. So anyway, the way I would approach it now is just to see on a high level, who are all these people, system analyst, business/system analyst. And some of you may wonder what is the difference between a business and a system analyst. So if any of you wonders, then I can answer. So just let me know in chat. Senior system analyst, senior system engineer, that's software engineer. Okay, what could be even better now is to just see on a high level how many people have the title in the current position. So only 147. Okay, not that many. How about we just review a few of them to see what kind of tools, what kind of keywords does he or she, in this case she, Julia, have on the profile. And if she has also some experience with development in the past. No, she started as a support analyst, so support technician, support specialist, tier 2 customer support, and then transitioned to system analyst, system analyst. So she has yeah, a few years, 5-6 years experience with system, and then another 4 or 5. That's decent. That's pretty cool. Okay, what are some of the keywords? BPMN, yeah, that's business process modeling. I think I also have it here. Yeah, BPMN. UML, Unified Modeling Language. So that's the UML, Unified Modeling Language. So these are some of the keywords that we can start using, or for example, requirements analysis. This is good. Do I have it on the list? Requirements analysis? Not really. You see, like this would be a great keyword. So let me just open up the notepad as always. And at first, I just like to explore a bit before I start sourcing. So this could be a nice opportunity again to just review some of these keywords. For example, requirements analysis would be great. What else? Business process, system analysis. That also sounds like a good skill if we are looking for a system analyst. And I pretty much always repeat these steps. So also pay attention to the process, not just to those keywords, but also the process we are going through. Because this BPMN is one of the keywords that is important. So let's keep it there. We are looking for some unique keywords. So keywords that are specific to this particular position. If we would use Git, you guys know by now that Git is used by software developers, web developers, mobile developers. So this would not be a good keyword. Also, Selenium is used by any engineers, even test engineers, not a good keyword. But UML, Unified Modeling Language, that would be a good keyword. So UML or Unified Modeling Language. Use case, that potentially as well. And then once we have these keywords, we can just go back to the search. I'll open up one more, systems analyst. And then we can just clear the job title and try some of these skills. So how about I enter the BPMN or system analysis, use case, or UML. Let's try UML or Unified Modeling Language. Now we get 5,500 people. Not all of them are obviously system analysts, but what we can do is to limit the job title, current job title, to analyst or analytic, because we've seen just a while ago that analytic is the local synonym for analyst. Suddenly we have 900 people. Some of them are business analysts, which does not necessarily mean they would not be a good fit. IT business analyst, Evgenia, senior business analyst, financial system analyst, senior business analyst. So now we have a lot more people, as you can see, 918, and these are those who have it currently in the title. We could also exclude those who are business analysts, even though I would hesitate slightly, because it does not necessarily mean that a business analyst would not be a good fit for a system analyst position. Global process owner, team lead, business project manager, key rollout. What is important is that the person should have some technical background. So then the question is, how do we know someone has technical background? Well, they have some specific keywords. Technical background, specific keywords such as developer, or what else? Front end, back end, full stack, of course, or front end, or backend or full stack, but let's just have JavaScript as a programming language, or well, I don't want to list all languages, probably Python or C#. Let's just try this. Okay, so I would now try to identify those people who have the experience with, and oh, it disappeared. Oopsie. It doesn't work when I just paste over there, so I'll need to type it again. UML or Unified Modeling Language. And at the same time, developer or JavaScript. Someone who used something like this in the past, has this in skills, UML at the same time, developer. So we only have 200 people. Let's see if Tomasz has experience with some development. Will we get someone who has technical background? IT consultant, worked as a data quality consultant. Yeah, you see technologies used, PHP, .NET. So this looks like a developer. I worked as a consultant and software developer. You see, like suddenly we got a developer, which is awesome. That's great. That's great. Someone who has technical background, used JavaScript. This is a decent list of keywords and skills. So with this in mind, like this looks like a good profile, because look at this. He has experience with software development, data engineering, so he knows the technical process. And then in 2013, he shifted to analysis. You can see the title Business Technology Consultant, but still he was using BPMN, UML. He was analyzing processes, conducted gap analysis, translated business requirements into functional specification, created BRD and FRD. I'm not sure what these keywords mean. Probably business requirements document and functional requirements document. So this is important. Translated the business requirements into functional specification. This is a very important sentence. We need to find people exactly like him. Someone who has technical background and then worked as an analyst. So this is a good profile. He even led a team of 5 developers. This is awesome. Actually, this is awesome. Now when we look at it, and that was in Canada, so international experience, senior business analyst. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'll keep him open. What about some other profiles on the list? Let me open up some of these other people just to see if they are also technical. See, he was a developer. He used 2013 to 18. He used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, MySQL. Now you guys know this is a developer, clearly someone who created websites. Then he became an IT analyst. This is cool. This is exactly someone who we are looking for. What is interesting, he doesn't have the title software developer. He doesn't have the title system analyst that we are looking for, yet he seems to be a good candidate, because we can see it based on keywords, right? We can see it based on the tools, based on the technologies he has been working with. And we know that IT analyst is sort of just a synonym for system analyst. You see UML, business analysis, and see a lot of people actually use local language to describe their skills, and this is one of the cases. So we cannot just use the English term business analysis, because then we would not find him. We need to consider the local equivalents as well. And I only used JavaScript programming language. We have now 223 people, but there are some other people who used another programming language, and they might have used PHP, C# or whatever else, Python, as developers 5, 7, 10 years ago. So we can replicate this search with another keywords. I could even try now. So how about developer, developer or engineer, and JavaScript or PHP. Well, let's try both JavaScript and PHP, because I'm so curious now what we will get in this search. 8 people. Scrum Master, IT Analyst, Bartosz. So he's a Scrum Master, IT Analyst for the last 9 years, a lot of different projects. UML, XML, Agile Scrum, Jira tool as well. Technical writer, web developer and tester for 2 years. And even before, he was a developer for 3 years. Ideal, ideal. You see, this is exactly who we are looking for. And we just used a few powerful keywords to identify these people, even though they don't have the title we were looking for at first. We were looking for system analysts, right? He would not be there because his current title is not a system analyst. His current title is Scrum Master / IT Analyst. But when we expand his profile, then we see he would be a good fit because he was an analyst before, he was a Scrum Master before, he was a developer with JavaScript, PHP. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, like this is so far probably the best profile, senior as well. So I don't know, what do you guys think? But not bad, right? Not bad. Business and system analysis, management, technical writing. Yeah. Let's open up one more just to see if we are heading in the right direction. Freelance Java developer, no. We would be looking for analysts in the current title. So how about analyst Java developer? Probably not. Freelance Java developer analyst, probably not. IT development analyst. Oh, I know this guy, Petr. He's my former colleague from 10 or 15 years ago. Petr. Oh, I remember him much younger. It's crazy how time flies, right? So he is an analyst, IT development analyst, data migration analyst. Yeah, we worked here together 2009, 8, 9, 10. IT specialist manager. He was a developer, but I don't know, he works in Raiffeisen Bank, which is a bank, a corporate environment. I'm not sure if he would be such a good fit for the startup with 15 people only. Probably not, but otherwise, I mean, the profile is legit. He did development for 3 years, 2.5 years, even before for 7 years, an IT specialist, then business analyst, data warehouse developer, and then analyst. Well, anyway, it's corporation, not a good fit. But when I'm looking at Bartosz, that's a decent profile. I would be so glad to introduce him to the client. So why don't I send him a message? What do you guys think? Public profile, send a message to the candidate. Let's do it. So let's review now the opening again. just to remind ourselves some key selling points. Would like to work on an innovative product that uses AR, VR, HoloLens app for Industry 4.0. Our client, a high-tech startup, creates an innovative solution. They create AR, VR for companies that can have their specialized technicians work remotely from one location for 10 different ones in the same day, so they don't need to travel around the globe. We are looking for a system analyst with software development background who can help the engineering team understand business requirements from the product owner. Join the team based in Prague and build a world-class product. And you know what? Now it's interesting because when I was talking to the manager from this company, they mentioned they are looking for a system analyst, you know, some intermediary between, and he mentioned the position system analyst, but essentially he could equally just also mention a business analyst, and it would be probably legit as well, because in smaller companies, it is business or system. There is no such huge difference. In a larger company, there could be a difference because everyone specializes in something in a large company. For example, this guy was a data migration analyst. So it's a very specific niche role with focus only on data, and not just data, the whole data warehouse, but only data migration from one database to the other. So he's a very specific analyst. I mean, now when we say that we are looking for a system analyst, well, it's just our interpretation of the role. We could also just call it business analyst, or we can call it analyst or IT analyst. It doesn't really matter. So that's why we should not restrict ourselves too much into who are we inviting for an interview. We can invite for interview even people who are not system analysts today, like Bartosz. He doesn't have system analyst, he has IT analyst. So let's write him a message now. So we are looking for someone to interpret the requirements, to help the product owner. I can just copy and paste some of these sentences. They're quite good. Not because I wrote them, but because the company is awesome. So would you like to work? Hi, Bartosz. He lives in Prague. The name seems to be Hungarian. So I just wonder if he worked in Hungary before. Is he from Hungary? No, we cannot see it. Anyway, moving on. Hi, Bartosz. What is interesting about his profile? Well, he worked on interesting projects. Can we just highlight any of them? Immerse.io. What is it about? Let's open up 2, 3. And if anyone stands out, VR training software. Guys, tell me, how can this be so random? Like, I just opened 1 out of 10 links or 15, and it's just about VR, employee experience for changing world, enterprise immersive training and technology, VR platform. You know, and by the way, we are talking about AR, VR, HoloLens kind of application. So I don't know, this is just magic, isn't it? So now we have a wonderful bridge. Hi, Bartosz. I noticed you worked on Immerse.io. Built for enterprise, helps companies create, deploy, scale VR training, integrate VR training. I'll use this phrase, integrate VR training. That integrates VR training. And I also work with an engineering team that creates a product that uses AR, VR, HoloLens app. This is magic, isn't it? How is it possible? Like one out of so many, and it's about VR. Isn't it awesome? That's a signal. Like, it would be so much fun if he's excited about VR and he hops on it, and then he gets hired. Like, wouldn't be this recruitment awesome if it was so easy? So they create this solution for Industry 4.0. So that specialized technicians can work remotely from one location for 10 different ones in the same day and don't need to travel around the globe. I noticed you also have software development background. And I'm wondering if you'd like to explore how could, would you like to explore if what? If you would be a good fit for the team, if you could help them build the product, if your expertise with VR could help the team, help the development team, or help the engineering team scale faster. I know you work on Immerse that integrates VR training and also work with engineering team that creates a product that uses AR VR. But they create innovative solution for Industry 4.0. So without so they can innovative that special. I don't know. So that specialized technicians can work remotely from one location for 10 different ones in the same day and don't need to travel around the globe. I noticed you also have software development background. I'm wondering if you'd like to explore if your expertise with VR and something is missing here, right? Some bridge to the IT analysis. Actually, that's what we are missing here. And I'm wondering if you'd like to explore if your expertise with VR plus system analysis, they are looking, or we are looking, the team is looking for a system analyst to bridge the biz requirements. Would you like to discuss it? I don't know. What do you think? I noticed you also have software background. Probably the software open background is not so important. I noticed since, or I'll let me just rephrase it. I'm not very happy with this. Since you have experience with VR and system analysis. I'm wondering if you'd like to explore how could you help the team scale internationally? Oh, yeah, probably. Since you have experience with VR and system analysis, I'm wondering if you'd like to explore how could you help the team scale internationally. The team is looking for a system analyst, for a senior system analyst. Would you like to discuss it? Yeah, this is good. Now I'm quite okay with it. So this is the message. The subject I'll keep short. Immerse IO VR HoloLens app. And that's it. So let me send it over. And there we go. Boom. Okay, so let's see. This is quite a good profile. So if you guys, as I mentioned a while ago, have access to our portal and you would like to submit similar profiles, then use some of these keywords. You can also use the most recent one. Where was it? Over here. This is quite good. So keywords and the job title, analyst or analytic. Okay, so check it out. If you find anyone good, submit, and we will split commission. So that's pretty cool, right? If you don't have access to our portal just yet, go to recruitinstantly.com and we will take it from there. So before we wrap it up, do you guys have any questions? There are some more profiles to go through, so probably I'll just use the spare 10 minutes and message a few more guys, since the message is already created. It will not take so much time anymore. We can just copy and paste the message. So as you can see, IT recruitment, not a rocket science if you use the right keywords, of course. It's not easy, but at the same time, it's not hard if you use the right keywords, if you think about it a bit, if you are creative, and if you combine different ones. As I mentioned, don't forget about the local Czech languages, in this case, the translations. But if you are looking for candidates in other European countries, use the appropriate local language. Don't forget about these tools, competencies, and also the other ones as we just brainstormed, and then combine them. This was very powerful. As you can see, on one, we were able to find profiles who have both UML, Unified Modeling Language, and also experience with software development. But this is just one of many. We could use another variation. So instead of UML or Unified Modeling Language, we could use use case or BPMN. And instead of JavaScript and PHP, we could use C#, .NET, Python, and then we would have another set of candidates. So sky is the limit. There are not that many system analysts in the Czech Republic, but if you iterate, if you try, then I'm sure you will be able to get to some good ones. So with that, I'll wrap it up. There are no questions in chat. So thanks for joining, Denisa, Linda, Juliana, Jasmeet. Hey, long time no see. Julia, Chris, Maria, Olivier, and the last name in Russian I cannot really read. So anyway, thanks for joining, guys. Have a wonderful day.